might consume to my friend from Vermont, who has been a champion of all human rights causes globally and will now speak on the issue of China.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Vermont.
I thank Mr. Lantos very much for yielding and appreciate the fact that he is perhaps the conscience of this Congress in terms of human rights, and we thank him very much for his work, and we applaud Mr. Gilman for his leadership as well. Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support of this resolution, which addresses the horrendous record that China has on human rights, both within their own borders and within Tibet as well. Under the 50 years of the Chinese occupation, the Tibetan people have been denied most rights guaranteed in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, including the rights to self-determination, freedom of speech, assembly, movement, expression, and travel. In the 20 years after the 1959 Tibetan uprising, 1.2 million people, or 20% of Tibet's population, was killed. Today, the Chinese are further undermining Tibet with a massive influx of ethnic Chinese into Tibet. In some areas, Chinese outnumber Tibetans by 2 or 3 to 1. With this influx, the Chinese are controlling the cultural, economic, and religious life, as well as the political and military structure in Tibet. Religious repression is one of the cruelest aspects of the Chinese regime in Tibet. Over 6,000 monasteries and sacred places have been destroyed by the Chinese, who are making a concerted effort to wipe Tibetan Buddhism off the face of the earth. Interestingly, and one of the reasons that I became involved in this issue, is that the horrendous human rights record in China struck home to the people of the state of Vermont, and specifically the people of the Middlebury College community, when the Fulbright scholar and former Middlebury College student, Nguyen Cho Pel, was seized by the Chinese authorities in 1995 for the crime of doing videotaping in Tibet. And he was charged for this horrendous crime of using a videotape to record the culture of Tibet. He was charged with espionage, and the result is that he was tried in secret, and no evidence has ever been made public to support the charges of espionage, which most of us think is absolute nonsense. Nguyen Cho Pel was sentenced to 18 years in jail for videotaping cultural activities in Tibet, and his frail elderly mother, Sonam Diki, who I had the privilege of meeting in Middlebury, Vermont, who is spending all of her energy not only trying to get her son out of jail, but trying to visit him to see what's going on, and she has up to this point not been successful. In July of last year, Nguyen Cho Pel was transferred to Po Tramo Prison, which is a high-security facility in a remote, isolated area. Unlike in other prisons, inmates are denied visitation rights. And this is a brutal treatment for an innocent young man, yet this treatment of Tibetans, and worse, occurs regularly under the Communist Chinese rule. My friend Chris Smith of New Jersey, chairman of the Subcommittee on International Operations and Human Rights, recognized the plight of Nguyen Cho Pel and was kind enough to insert an amendment into the resolution, specifically citing Cho Pel's unjust imprisonment as an example of China's violation of basic human rights. I thank Mr. Smith, as well as Cynthia McKinney, who is the ranking member, for their attention to the plight of this young man. I would also like to thank the committee chairman, Mr. Gilman, and ranking member, Mr. Gadenson, for their commitment to human rights and for bringing this resolution forward. I would simply conclude, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, by saying that, as Mr. Rohrabacher mentioned a moment ago, I think we have, as important as this action is, we have got to go further and ask ourselves why we continue to provide most favored nation status to China, why we continue to sit back while major corporation after major corporation throws American workers out on the street, runs to China where people are paid 20 cents an hour and have no basic democratic rights. So I think that whole issue of trade and the responsibility of an element of corporate America to perpetuate and strengthen the regime in Peking has got to be addressed as well. And I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I yield back the balance of my time.
How much time do we have, Mr. Chairman?
The gentleman from California has 30 seconds, and the gentleman, if the chair will, can